What's up, guys? Tim Little, Matt Allen. Welcome back to Tactical Bassin. Today's video, we're announcing our latest bait design.
Let's jump right into it. We are so excited to announce, in collaboration with Hog Farmer, the Tactical Micro Flex Rig, specifically designed for throwing tiny baits. Another A-rig to add to our lineup. Now, some guys instantly excited. Some guys are already trying to click out of this video. If you're the guy who hates A-rig fishing, you don't throw them. Maybe it's because of injuries, maybe they're hard to throw, maybe you just don't like them. I highly recommend you take a minute to hear this through, because this is completely changing the way that we throw A-rigs and the way a lot of other people are going to throw A-rigs as well. Let's jump into some of the details about this rig, okay? It's a 5-wire rig. Our other rigs are 6-wire. We dropped down to 5 wires, 2 dummies, 3 hooked baits. We went through all sorts of prototyping to arrive here, and we'll talk our way through that as well. But what you need to understand is that this rig is truly designed. When we started, it was designed around a 2.8 Kitech. You can throw up to a 3.5 inch swim bait. You can throw down to a true 2-inch swim bait. And we found a lot of other baits we like to throw along the way, but it was truly designed to throw those micro little baits to get fish to react in all sorts of different situations. So short dummy arms. This is the lightest wire that Hog Farmer has ever put into any rig. It's by far the lightest wire that we've put into a rig. And that prototyping phase, I mean, this doesn't happen overnight, right? Stumpy little arms, extra stumpy little arms, little tiny knobs, right? Experimenting, going longer, different lengths on different arms, trying to find that perfect balance, because when you downsize a rig, on paper it's easy. Hey, let's make that smaller. Let's throw little baits. Let's throw it on light line. Let's throw it on bait finesse gear or spinning rods. But in reality, the balance of getting good movement out of the baits, but not fouling a rig non-stop, is a process. That's how we ended up with 5 arms instead of 6. 2 tiny blades on the bladed rig. We also have a non-bladed, a true crystal clear water finesse rig. Our longest arm, our main arm, is designed so you can still put bigger weights on it. You won't have any flex there if you want to fish it deeper, Highland Reservoir guys. And then 2 shorter arms for our other hooked baits. It comes with Hog Farmer's exclusive snaps on it that are so strong. I mean, it takes pliers to open and close them. But we want you guys to have this rig, the option to set it up the exact way that we do. So it's also going to come with Owner Hyperwire number 2 split rings in the bag, ready to rock. So if you want to take those snaps off, they're unbelievably strong. I mean, the strongest snap that I use. But if you want it to look the exact way that we do, where we've really finessed it down, dropped it down to split rings, and just eliminated as much hardware as possible, you can do that. You want to talk a little bit about some of the other rigs?
Yeah, in bass fishing we talk a lot about trends, right? Progression, trends, that sort of thing. How did we get to the micro rig, right? I think when you and I talked about this several years ago when the rig first came out. We were Northern California fishing clear water, a lot of, I was still fishing tournaments on Shasta and Oroville, and you're throwing little drop shot baits. And in our minds, it was like, man, we need like a micro rig, something that we can catch those spotted bass. And although it was all well and good out there, it didn't really fit the rest of the country. But then fast forward, a decade or 2, however long it's been, you see these trends in bass fishing, right? Everybody's downsizing, and we felt like it was the best time to come out with the micro rig. Those of you guys that follow the channel for a long time know that we started with the Tactical Flex rig. We wanted a rig that had lighter wire. A lot of companies were putting real stout rigs on the market, but the key for us is that flex, that movement, that fluidity of the whole school when you add those reel twitches or those rod twitches. So we went with the flex rig. Longer wires, lighter wires, 6 wires versus 5 to get that movement. Then we came out with the mini flex, right?
Which
Same
everybody
thing.
thought was the
Thought
tiny
was
one.
the mini. We knew,
We
yeah,
knew that was the medium.
that was going to be the medium, right? So then you have your 3.8, 4.3, you know, your 4-inch size swim baits.
Yep.
Got your dummies, got your 3 teasers on there, and then now, following that same progression, we got the micro, a true micro A-rig. Crappie fishermen, bass fishermen, spinning rod fishermen. You know, a lot of guys, they have physical limitations. They can't throw a big A-rig all day. But if you're a guy that can throw a half-ounce spinnerbait, if you're a guy that just has a spinning rod, the micro flex, again, 5 wires, so there's not a lot of pull in the, on the bait itself.
Yeah, even the bladed.
Even the bladed. Not a lot of pull, not a lot of arm fatigue. You can throw it on you could literally throw it on a BFS setup. It's funny because we had a comment just the other day, when are you guys gonna, all the stuff you guys design, when are you gonna design a BFS rig? And I just kind of chuckled. But a true 2.8, 2.5, 3-inch swim bait A rig, that is the micro rig. We're super excited. We've caught a ton of fish on it.
Oh my gosh.
From big largemouth to 25-pound striper. I mean, it's
already put a muskie in the boat during prototyping.
Bass fishing trends, right? Everybody's downsizing. There's a lot more fishing pressure. Everybody's complaining about lakes are getting tougher or whatever. Now is the time to throw the micro rig.
So like Tim said, we've known for more than a decade that at some point in the future, this was going to happen. Hog Farmer was on board with us from day one. They've been amazing to work with. We approached them with that original flex rig because they build incredible rigs and we knew they were the right people to do it. They've been with us from the full flex to the mini. They were totally on board with the micro, and it's been through a lot of phases to get it right. A lot of things that you don't see coming. You want that softer wire, you go to twitch it and your bait's foul. Well, we got to go to stronger wire. Now let's play with length. That impacts it. But what really got me excited, after all these years that we knew we wanted to do it, when we got the final prototypes dialed, and I mean, it swims like a dream, and we started hitting the water, when the fish spoke, it's mind-boggling. I'm running banks, I run them with an A-rig, and I don't get bit, and I turn around and I come back through with a micro and I just pluck them like I didn't just fish through it.
They haven't seen it. It's a smaller profile, and that's what's key.
The way that they're reacting is amazing, and the rig is so light. This is not just for the guy on a bass boat with forward-facing sonar, right? This is for everybody. You can literally throw it for crappie, multi-species, but it will catch giant largemouth as well. My only concern going in was that it wouldn't have the drawing power to catch giants. And one of the very first fish I caught on it, very first ones, was over 5. And I just immediately, you're like, oh buddy, it's happening. It's amazing how they react to it. And the key is, again, how comfortable this thing is to fish. When I go out and throw this for a few hours and then I pick up even the mini rig, I'm like, oh, this is cumbersome. And that thing's easy to throw. Throwing this is like throwing a crankbait, throwing a spinnerbait, throwing a chatterbait. I started out throwing it on a 610 medium heavy, still do. I love that rod for it, but I would say that's as heavy as I go. A 610 medium, a jerkbait rod. The 7.2 medium light, a BFS rod. 7.2 medium light has become my personal favorite rod to throw it on. We've thrown it on spinning gear. I mean, you can have, your grandpa can throw this rig, and so can your son that can't use a bait caster. It's that light, it's that easy to fish. We fish it, the best pairings that we found is running that thing with a Dirty Jigs guppy head. Like 3 1/8 ounce heads is the main way that we throw it. So the total heads are 3/8 of an ounce. Then you add a head that weighs nothing, some wires and some swim baits, you literally weigh the same as a half-ounce spinnerbait.
Right.
Literally. That's what this thing is. But you're throwing 3 little 1/0 hooks. So I'm throwing, again, on a 610 to a 7.2, medium light, medium heavy. You own a rod that can do this, spinning or casting. The beauty, though, when you hook them, it's on those little hooks. So you're able to do this on light line. We're throwing it on a lot of 10 to 12 pound line.
Yep, straight fluorocarbon is the easiest. I mean, you can throw braid if you want, but it's fun. I mean, you can, throwing a rig like this on 10 and 12 pound fluorocarbon, I mean, you could just send it. There's
Nothing.
no resistance. It's so easy to cast and retrieve. With the wires, you know, we had to take a lot of time figuring out the lengths of the wire size, basically build it around the most common and popular, best swimming finesse swim baits on the market.
Yep.
And yeah, again, reel twitches, rod twitches, cast that thing out there, change up your cadence a little bit, and they straight munch this thing. The bladed, non-bladed, ultra finessey rig, it just catches them, guys.
It does. Now, talking about swim baits, like we said, we started this thinking 2.8 Kitech up to a 3.3 Kitech.
Yeah.
When we started fishing at this thing, you start going between baits. We're trying different baits, trying different heads. Some of the standout baits, Z-Man, they've got their Slim Swims. Demiki, the 3-inch armor shad,
Legit.
is the main bait that I use, and it was a bait that I used as a dummy bait
Teasers, yep.
on my larger rigs. But when we got down to that micro, 5 3-inch Demiki armor shads is my main setup. 3 with hooks, 2 without. Again, 3/8, so 3 1/8 ounce heads, 1/0 hooks. 10 to 12 pound leader, and I'm just slinging this thing. It's no big deal. Anyone can throw it.
It's fun.
It's fun.
Same thing with the BFS stuff, right? It's just fun. Throwing that little micro rig, you get bit. You don't know if it's going to be a 5-pounder or a 2-pounder or a big old crappie, like Matt said. It's everything eats little bait fish, and just having that little profile, that different profile, you know. Look at the size
Look
difference.
at the difference. Where's the mini? Let me hold all 3 of them up. Here, let me hold this one off to the side. I'll take this one. Grab those 2.
Okay.
So you can see all 3 together.
There's the
Flex,
progression right there.
Mini, micro.
Just look at the size of the baits and the blades. I mean,
Day and night. Guys, this is a really, really fun way to catch them. Anybody can do it. In the video description, we're going to link you the rigs because you have bladed and non-bladed to choose from, but we'll also link you all of our favorite heads. You know, that guppy head is the main head we throw. There's a Z-Man head we've had a lot of success with. When you want to stick them, like if you're using a medium heavy, you can go to that Mega Bass head, the Okashira, but the non-bladed, not the screw head. Standard Okashira is a little bigger, a little stronger, so if you know you're going to be around big ones. But we'll link all that, our favorite baits, favorite bait colors. So again, you guys can set these things up. That's a 6/8 medium.
spinning rod.
Spinning rod. It's nothing to throw on like 10 or 15 pound braid. It's nothing to throw this setup. Literally any kid can do it. And fishing this thing, going down the bank, chucking and winding, just slow roll and little twitches periodically. When you do those little twitches and those baits move, that's when those fish strike that rig. It's really fun. Again, we'll link all the gear in the video description so you can set it up the same way we did. We included those split rings. So again, the snaps that are in there are strong. Like that's the strongest part of the rig. But if you want to truly downsize it, crystal clear water, the guy with 15, 20, 30, 40 feet of viz, you want to get all that hardware off there. You go to the non-bladed, you add your split rings instead of snaps, and that thing is as finesse as you will ever get a rig, but still strong enough to land those giants when they eat it.
Yeah, this has been a long time coming. You clear water fishermen, you finesse fishermen, this is right up your alley. It's right up our alley. You know, coming from those deep clear water, highland reservoirs, big spotted bass. I can't wait to throw this up north,
Oh my goodness.
for big smallmouth. But again, you guys saw, I mean, it is truly a rig that you can throw on a spinning rod, and it catches big ones. So any rod in your arsenal can throw this bait. It doesn't break the bank. Lots of cool swim baits to put on there, and anybody on your boat or anybody on the bank could throw this with any of the rods that you have, any of the gear. And we're really excited. Like Matt said, lots of prototyping with the different wires, different lengths, different sizes, the number of wires, I mean, just all those things that really come into play. And we're really excited to bring this to the market because it is a fish catching machine. And that's what it's all about, guys. Bringing things to the market that better the industry and allow you guys, help you guys catch more fish.
The biggest thing that I want to add is these are available today. We have wanted to announce these for over a month. We got them dialed. We went through our entire testing phase, caught giant fish on them, but we've been waiting for Hog Farmer to be able to have enough of them ready and get those to Tackle Warehouse so you guys could actually get them and get to work with them right away, right during the bite window where you need them. You'll see us talking about this rig a lot more going forward because this is the exact time of year when it shines.
Real quick, if I cut you off, it's funny because, you know, we've wanted to include these in videos we've shot the last couple weeks. There's been numerous times where I mean, it's post-frontal conditions, it's tough out, and I'm like, I got that micro rig in
go a little smaller
in the rod box, but I can't fish with it yet because so we haven't ruined our fishing videos up the last couple weeks, but it is a bait that I have a ton of confidence in, and I've wished I could have fished it in the last couple fishing videos before this announcement, but I think you guys will enjoy it as much as we do.
So again, they're available today. We'll put all that in the video description. If you guys enjoyed the video, if you're as pumped about this as we are, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk to you soon.
See you guys.